Conflict usually can be deemed as a bad thing, but in sales, you can actually use a customer's conflict to your advantage to buy more of your products and services. Conflict usually arises from two things. The first is a difference in philosophy. The second is misunderstanding. And for most sales calls, it's going to be a misunderstanding and not a difference in philosophy. The first thing you have to understand is your goal is to get to the truth. It's not to be right or wrong. You don't want to attack the prospect or make or argue with them at any point. Let's say they say your prices are too high, and they've talked to a lot of other people in the industry who offer your same service at a cheaper price. So they say, I don't think I should have to pay that much for what you're offering. I don't feel you're offering any more value. The first thing we want to do is empathize with them and respond with, hey, I totally get where you're coming from. To make sure I understand, you're saying that there's competitors out there offering the same thing as us, supposedly at a cheaper price. Is that right? And they'll respond with, yes. The key is to not get defensive or combative. In fact, a good rule of thumb here is to reference a previous client. We call this feel, felt, found method. I hear what you're saying, John. Some of our clients felt the same way, but what they found was that when they worked with these other guys, they said that they could do this and that, but in the end, the services they were promising didn't come to fruition. Usually you can have two of three things: cheap, fast, and easy. You guys want fast and easy, so it won't be cheap. If the competitor is offering cheap and fast, it certainly won't be easy and it probably won't be good. Ultimately, you have to make the call, but you get what you pay for in most cases. Hopefully, you see conflict is not something to avoid, and calling out the prospect isn't either. Sometimes you'll be in the middle of a sales call and everything seems like it's going great, but you have a feeling deep down they aren't going to buy. You may not even know what it is, but you just have that feeling deep in your gut. Maybe it's a look they give you, or their eyes open wide when you say the word expensive or pricey. But here's the trick. If you feel it, just say it. For example, if you feel someone doesn't have the funds, just say, you know, I may be wrong, but I just have this funny feeling that the pricing may be too high for you. Is that right? Or, hey, you seem pretty disinterested in this call. Are you sure you want to do this? Because you look bored. By being brutally honest, it may throw them off guard and get them to think, wow, this person is so honest, which builds more trust and actually makes it easier for them to close. Worst case, they agree with you, at which point you can wrap up. We only have a limited amount of time and energy, so we want to make sure we are always talking to the right people. Just say it and get to the truth. Don't be afraid. Now, you may think that talking more and fast is going to help you close more deals, when in reality, you just need to listen. Amateurs in sales think that they have to be loud and bold to make a statement, but it's not true. The best salespeople are great listeners. In fact, have you ever been in a conversation where someone talked the entire time and then told you how great a listener you were? That's because people love talking about themselves, and the more they talk, the more control you actually have in the sales pitch. A lot of times it's simple things like nodding your head up and down or asking them to tell you more about that, being engaged by looking them directly in the eye and taking notes. There's a saying, people only care once they know how much you care, and it's so true. By listening and leading with questions, we can actually make the prospect think buying is their idea. Nobody likes to be told what to do, right? If you say something like, buy this thing to fix your problem, you have no idea what you're doing. That is never going to land well. You can't tell people what to do, but you can ask questions that put a seed in their head that helps them come to the proper conclusion. If you see they have a leads problem, I might say, man, sounds from what you said you have a big leads issue. How long has this been going on? Do you feel you can keep running the business this way, or does something have to change? As you say this, people will start to think of the solution on their own because your questions are directing them where you want them to think.